Alright, man, we back. We got, man, the Fort Worth legend. How you doing today, Pops?
I'm all right, young man.
First thing I want to ask you is something we talked about earlier. You said the kids. Let's talk about the kids with the guns for a minute. How did we get to this generation of kids with guns? Because when I was in school, you know, like I said, we had kids that had like maybe a deuce or maybe something like that. But as far as like an entire like Draco or extended clip with a switch, we didn't have that. So how did we get to that point?
Your rap music, your TV, your games. It gave kids nothing but guns. And then they got a chance to see the war guns on the game thing that y'all was buying your kids. So kids got involved with guns. Your rap music got kids with guns. All of the brothers standing up with their guns. The rap music got them. The movie got kids with guns. So America is just a gun country. Greg Abbott said everybody get a gun. Now everybody got a gun. And the kids got guns. Y'all got guns in your house to protect you in your house, but the kids see the gun and you ain't got it on safety. And you ain't got it locked up. The kids, y'all going to work. The kids steal the guns, go to school with the guns. Now y'all held responsible for it. And the kids is picking the guns up and don't even know that the guns are really just in a person's life. They don't know these guns killing people. They don't understand killing. And all they see is guns. All the movies is guns. And in the black community, all the movies, everybody got a gun outdoors with it. All the boys outdoors with guns, standing outdoors in the front yard. So every kid see a gun. Now everybody want a gun. I'm scary, but I got a gun. I'm weak, but I got a gun. And I got to have my gun because I feel like I'm a man when I got that gun. So America's just messed up. It messed up. Everybody got a gun. How do you take the guns away from everybody? It's hard to take the guns away from everybody now, and everybody got the guns. And everybody's scared with the guns, and the kids got the guns, and the kids don't know that these guns actually killing people. Once they start using them and shooting them, then they see that it's killing somebody.
Man, that's like I said, that's always been kind of mind blowing to me because, like I said, like we talked about it earlier, but when I was a kid, video games I was already 10, 11, 12, so I knew real life versus the fictional life. I knew that, okay, if you kill somebody, they're not coming back. You're going to jail. I knew all of that stuff, but I think now you hit it right on the head with the games because kids like now it just gets they younger and younger playing video games.
They're 8, 9 years old, 8 and 9 years old, and 10 years old, and 11 years old. He just got through holding a bottle in his hand, feeding himself. Now he done come out and got a big old gun because all he see is guns, all he hear is guns. And especially if you live down here in the bottomless pit, ain't nothing but guns down here in the bottomless pit. We ain't got no pencils down here, no ink pens down here. Our kids got guns. They ain't got no pencils learning nothing. They ain't got no sticks beating drums learning nothing. They ain't got no wrenches trying to build nothing. Our kids is fucked up because we don't have nothing to offer our kids and the system don't have nothing to offer our kids. The majority of our kids can't read and write. How can a kid go to school and sit up in school and he can't read and write? He's dirty and he's filthy. This kid don't want to be in school, so what do? He come outdoors and he come outdoors try to eat. It ain't the kid's fault, it's society's fault. It's society's fault. It's the government's fault. It's Texas' fault. The kids ain't got nothing but guns, and then that's the way you keep building a jail because our kids got these guns, so our kids gonna use these guns. Our little kids are running to games. Our little kids 15 and 16, 17 years old running to games and gotta pack a gun because the gang member said you got to have this gun and you got to do that. These kids, then they're hungry, so they following another boy. A little boy following another boy.
Let me ask you this, Pops. I remember, speaking of gangs, I remember when they started covering the gang stuff, especially here in Fort Worth, Texas, they were saying that even before the Bloods and Crips got here, that Fort Worth was like a gang city. Is that true?
Fort Worth have never been no gang city. Fort Worth was a city where people went to work every day and tried to have something, a little pimping and things like that. It wasn't no gangs. It wasn't no, when I was a little boy, they had a gang called the Earring Gang and the Change Gang. One boys had curly hair and one boys that. It always been little boys that ride together and do this. But Fort Worth wasn't no gang town. Fort Worth didn't start being a gang town until the Crips and the Bloods migrated to Fort Worth.
Okay. So this was a question. I remember listening to it on a podcast one night, and I said, next time I sit down with Pops, I got to ask him this. Because he was suggesting that gangs started to fight the police and to protect the neighborhood. Do you believe that?
The Panthers was fighting the police to protect the neighborhood. You always had some little boys that, fight police, because in our area, police gonna fight us. So we had to fight back. Sheriff department and white boys, they gonna fight us, so we gotta fight back. So we fight back, but don't too many people fight the police, especially black. And they didn't have gangs in Fort Worth, Texas. Fort Worth, Texas was a place where everybody mind their own business and try to get them some money. The young boys wanted to play football and run track and things like that. They didn't even know nothing about no gang shit. Every little boy in Fort Worth wanted to play basketball or football player. They didn't want to be no gang there. When the gangs, I wasn't even here when that hit Fort Worth, but when the gangs hit Fort Worth, everybody went to talking about being a gang, and it messed Fort Worth up. Fort Worth was a peaceful town.
Okay. So, man, I would say a couple of weeks ago, I'm watching Adin Ross streaming live. And I'm looking at the live stream, and Charleston White is always on Adin Ross live stream, so that don't strike me. But I see Pops on the bus with Adin Ross. First off, man, what was that like?
What was it like for me? Riding in the car with some youngsters, listening to some youngsters talking, because I don't know who he was or things like that. So it's just like riding with my friend Charleston, because Charleston come get me sometimes, and I get in the car and I ride off with Charleston. Okay. So it wasn't like you didn't see somebody that you even recognized. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was like, wow, I'm not a person starstruck. I don't know. Me, I wake up every day and I'm not interested in learning who's the star, what's the star, this and that. My daily thing is getting up. Like I said, I'm a gambler. I'm looking for somebody to gamble with. He would be a good person to gamble with. He would be a good person if I had the right type of casino. And when he came, he might have came to my casino, and we might have could have beat him out of something. I'm interested in nothing but gambling, young man. I'm not.
You know what's crazy? He a big gambler.
I'm not interested in the platform. That's
right.
Y'all's game. I know nothing about this platform stuff. Really feel like I'm out of line on platform speaking. That's for you scholars, all
right.
You educated peoples and things like that have degrees and issues and things. And when you ask one about an issue, he got a degree in that because he have studied that.
I can tell you this. I feel you what you're saying, but I can tell you this. There ain't no education, no degree that anybody can go get that'll match what you got up there. In your perspective. It's the reason why we all run to you, right? We all run to you for answers.